Hello everyone, it's DreamMayCry. Welcome to a documentary about the rise and fall of Havoc.games or Havoc.games, My Dead, whatever you want to call it. Titled, you probably know this. This is going to be different from my usual videos. And if the quality's bad, or it's hard to understand what I'm saying, I know, I have a speech impediment. But the source of it is the crowding of my teeth, and thank God I have braces. But if I try off the middle of this, that's just how I am. And also, it does take a lot of energy for me to speak loud, so I'm going to be drinking water in between. So, that's all that. Here we go. Start the prologue here. I know my name probably doesn't ring a bell, but allow me to tell you the road I've traveled on the Mighty Dead. It was late 2015, I was searching for apocalypse-themed Minecraft servers. So I got the Mighty Dead caught my eye. Guns, zombies, a real survival challenge, and that was great. In late December of 2015, December 28th to be exact, so then we're approaching the 10-year mark. What hit me though wasn't just the novelty, it was the immersion. This wasn't typical Minecraft, this is a desperate world overrun with the undead, essentially. I spawned in, looked around, there's broken buildings, deserted streets, danger around every corner. But among these ruins, I found hope, loot, guns, other survivors. I could team up, build, survive, and damn, the gun mechanics, the skins. And then later on there's the ability to dual pistols. Those are unforgettable. This marked the beginning of my journey into what would be, for a time, one of those thrilling online communities I had known. So, this brings us to chapter 1, which is the rise of the server. Now, according to the website, it was created in 2013, and then the network expanded under the banner of Havoc Games, originally Havoc MC, and before that, just the Mighty Dead. The ambition was bold, to bring a gritty zombie apocalypse to Minecraft, not just by adding zombies, but by building an entire world where survival, scavenging, conflict, and community mattered. They also added other things to The Walking Dead, like whisperers, wolves, bandits, etc. And there's growth in popularity. By 2015 and 2016, the Mighty Dead was at its peak. Player counts reportedly reached as high as 1,100 in a single day. Typical daily activity hovered around 500 to 600 concurrent players. It was more than a minigame server, it was a living, breathing apocalypse. Players joined not just to shoot zombies, but to scavenge supplies, find weapons, build alliances, and carve out a life amid chaos. There was tension, but also community. For many of us, this is the kind of Minecraft we had always wanted. As more features rolled out, I got drawn in even deeper. New game modes, new mechanics, the promise of something more than the ordinary. This brings us to chapter 2, the Golden Era, Guns, Hell Knight, and Mine Wars. When I first joined the server in 2015, the server had already had a strong foundation. Over the next year or two, it expanded in remarkable ways. Double-handed customization, the ability to wield guns, even dual pistols, and visceral, all shooter feel to Minecraft. It's not just about swords or creepers, it's about bullets, ammo, scavenging, and survival. It's a large explorable map, the server offers a sprawling map of 5,000 by 5,000 blocks, with landmarks, towns, and zones to explore. New game modes are even added. Over time, additional modes like Hell Knight, a zombie survival Hunger Games event, and Mine Wars, which is based off of Star Wars, were added. All with other modes like Grand Theft Auto, County, and more under the broader Havoc Games network. Community. In the companionship of Apocalypse, I met some really cool people. Comrades in arms, harvest animals, people I build trusts, and people I'm still friends with to this day. We scavenged together, guarded each other against the undead, plotted raids, traded loot. It wasn't just a game, it was a community, a shared story of survival. That era, 2016 to maybe 2017, felt magical. For many, it was the very fusion of Minecraft's creativity and the zombie survival game's tension. Chapter 3. The first cracks appear. But nothing lasts forever. By 2017, the first signs of trouble began to show. On the official Havoc.games forums, longtime players started to speak out, saying things I used to be one of the more active players out there. Watching the source is a big update, but I quit. I really saw a big revolution going, but in my opinion it was not positive. Many felt alienated, saying the servers seemed to favor new players rather than the loyal ones who have been playing for years. Others complained that the updates changed the very feel of the game they loved. That tension between longtime fans and developer and staff was the first real fracture. Chapter 4. Attempts at revival. Seasons, resets, promises. The developers of Havoc.games weren't oblivious to the decline. In mid to late 2018, they announced big plans, a reset, new seasons, and regular content updates. On the 2018 announcement, they would combine servers TMD1 and TMD2 into one PvP server, and TMD3 and TMD4 into one PvE server. They intended to sort more bi-weekly updates and include changes to Hell Knight to shorten games that may require fewer players to start, ostensibly to make the server more accessible and lively even with fewer active players. They promised to refresh other modes like Mine Wars, though even the announcement, Mine Wars 2.0, is delayed. For many, this felt like hope. Maybe the apocalypse will be reborn. Maybe we can go back to what TND once was. There was also unease for some players, especially those nostalgic for the old days. These resets raised red flags. Chapter 5. Decline accelerates. Toxicity, paywalls, and disconnection. Ryan returned in 2018 to change their visible. Yes, there were still players, and we still had times, but things felt hollow. The modes that used to seemed neglected. Hell Knight rarely had games, mine were still delayed, still unloved. Behind the scenes, players are angry. On forums, the only ones claiming that the staff team had thrown away the community they had once built. Here's some of the arguments players made. The staff seemed more interested in attracting new players than even the loyal ones. The new maps, changes, and resets didn't feel like improvements, they felt like compromises. For some long-term players, the connection was gone. The sense of community, of shared history, was eroding. Compounding the problem of monetization. I know when holiday events started appearing, in principle, that sounds fine. Seasonal events could be fun, but I soon realized they were locked behind paywalls around 2020. Excuse me. Holiday event items. Once the celebration of community had become commodified, it was a turning point. A server that had once felt like passion and a shared project began to feel like a business. In 2020, I saw little change. I tried to stay hopeful. I wanted the old TND back. I really did, but the disconnect only grew deeper. There was a chasm between the owners and the players, the community, felt abandoned. Chapter 6. The final years, from passion to cash grab. By 2023, things had changed irrevocably. The monthly rhythm of the server was dominated by pay-to-wins events, not in zombie survival. No longer was it about scavenging, building, surviving. It was about who paid more money, who bought more crates, who had better loot, not who was clever or skillful. The community had dwindled. When there were once 100, maybe thousands. Now there are only tens. On a good day, low hundreds. The server barely registered 100 players per day. My only experience matches what public tracking showed. What had once been a living, breathing zombie apocalypse had become a hollow shadow. The guns, the zombies, the maps, they were there. The community was gone. I lost all hope. I couldn't deny it. The Havoc.games I knew was dead. And honestly, within 5 years from now, I don't think the server will exist. And the server will be gone by 2030 is my guess. Chapter 7. Why did it fall? Looking back, I see several key reasons for the MindDead's downfall, many of which mirror the tragedies of once great online communities that burn out. Loss of trust in staff community, frequent changes, resets, and game mode delays angered long-time players. Many of the staff no longer cared about the people who built the server's identity in the first place. By trying to grow or evolve, the server lost the close to community feeling that gave it soul. As one player put it, what works for 800 players doesn't feel the same as it does for 50 loyal friends. There's negative content and broken promises. Game modes like Emeralds were repeatedly delayed, Hell Knight went mostly inactive, and many promised updates either didn't materialize or felt like patches rather than meaningful content. Rougher by the updates, their healing switch is always faster than Usain Bolt, as one player wrote, drove away players. Monetization, pay-to-win shift, holiday items, crates, loot, all locked behind paywalls. The server shifted from being a passion project to revenue-driven. For many, this is the final straw. When the game's survival mechanics get overshadowed by microtransactions, the sense of fairness, challenge, and community evaporates. The declining population led to a negative feedback loop. As player less, fewer people are available for PvP, PvE events, or community building. Fewer events meant less to do, which led to more departures. It's really like to struggle to maintain a healthy, active population, even as the public-facing website remained up. Burnout and competing interests. Many players, myself included, real life got in the way. School, jobs, commitments, from staff, maintenance, coding, content updates. At some point, the passion that fueled the server dwindled. Servers and staff may have found it difficult to sustain a project as ambitious as a zombie apocalypse sandbox indefinitely, especially without the momentum of a strong and engaged community. Chapter 8, the present, a shadow of its former self. As of now, the server still exists, the website is up, the IP address remains play.havoc.games or minddead.com, and some players still log on, but it is no longer what it once was. On server listing sites, typical player counts are extremely low, sometimes under 50 simultaneous players. The community, once tight-knit, is fractured beyond. Many old players have moved on, newer players rarely stick around. The legacy of the Mind Dead lives on, in memories and old screenshots and stories told by the players like me, but rarely active in gameplay. For me and for many others, what remains is nostalgia, the world we built, the fights we fought, the nights we survived together. They live on in memory, but they are also a constant tale of how even the best, most beloved online communities can fade when ambition and monetization, the collective overtake passion. Epilogue, what the Mind Dead meant, what it warns. The story of the Mind Dead is more than a story's rise and fall. It's a microcosm of how online communities, especially fan-driven, independent projects, grow, flourish, decline, and sometimes disappear. For a time, TOD was magical. It transformed Minecraft into something entirely new. It brought players together, it built memories, it gave people, players, strangers, a shared story of survival, hope, anxiety, triumph, and loss. But when the soul of the server was traded for monetization, when the staff grew distant, when long was languished, when the community fractured, the collapse began. As because these things were gradual, by the time many of us realized how far it had fallen, the damage was already done. Now when I look back on 2016, I see more than just a game. I see a moment in time. A moment when a group of people came together in pixelated ruins, held guns, fought zombies, and believed the apocalypse could be survived. The moment is gone, but the memory remains. If I were to give the Mind Dead a proper send-off, I wouldn't do it with anger or bitterness. I'd do it with gratitude. For the laughter, the fear, the achievements, the friends made and lost, for the nights spent scavenging for ammo with strangers who became allies. For the feeling, even if fleeting, that in a broken world, people could still come together. Because in the end, yes, the sword died, but for a while, it lived. And to me, that will always matter. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.